All right, good evening. My name is Marc Nichelson. I'm the director of bands here, and I like to wear loud Christmas suits. Just wait, I got another one for tomorrow. Everyone's going to like it. This is the old one from years past. Welcome to our jazz band concert. It's something special about China Spring to have jazz bands at both the middle school and high school level that also compete in ATSSB and TMEA. I know the high school jazz band and the middle school jazz bands typically go and compete at jazz festivals during the spring, and it's something really special that a lot of 4As don't get to have, and it's just offering your students another thing that kind of broadens their horizons and introduces them to music. And the cool thing about jazz bands, sometimes with wind band, you have to go find really select pro groups, and they're kind of hidden in places. With jazz band, you can go out to places in Waco and see saxophones or drummers or guitar players performing. And so they kind of are a cool thing that we can offer in the public education system that really ties what you see in the world around you as far as live music is concerned. And jazz bands are great at that. And of course, all of rock and all those things that we go and see out there, a lot of it came, even this is going to surprise you, even country music. Some of you that really can go back into the country music, remember there was an era called Western swing. And that came from the jazz bands that adapted themselves into this kind of country folk-ish kind of thing, and they had a whole thing that started the country music, and then you get Hank Williams, and off we go into the country music scene as well. So jazz band, one, it being like the kind of original American art form, it also is kind of the trunk of the tree in which a ton of things that we all know and love as part of our popular music actually branches out from. So it's a really cool ensemble. A couple of things to take care of. The program, cscougar.com/program. That is where you can get the program. It has everything listed. A few things in there are sponsors. Give them your business. They're amazing. They literally make everything possible. There's several thank yous in there. One, a couple of note to mention. Our administration, the teaching team we have here that make classes like this possible. It's not easy just to be like, well, we're going to have one of those. Let's just throw it in the schedule. It's no big deal. That's a whole kind of calculus that these principals and these counselors have to figure out, and they're super awesome for doing that. Another group of people we like to always thank is our boosters and our roadie team, and several of them are out here. Those are kind of the unsung heroes of the band world. They make sure we get places, we get the things we need. They're constantly fundraising for us. If you've been a part of those fundraisers, thank you so much. You'll also see, and some of you may take part in it, when we finish up tonight, a lot of people will help tear down and put things away. Those are a lot of those people, and we really appreciate those guys. Another group we always like to thank is parents. All of you remember, some of them, not so long ago, what they sounded like when they first brought that instrument home, right? That's an interesting sound. But you stuck with it, you taught them that you helped kind of infuse in them the value of hard work, what it looks like for the learning process to happen. But that's the cool thing about music, especially in these younger grades, is we're literally seeing skill acquisition from most of them having no basis in that world. They're starting true zero and learning what skill acquisition looks like, which is a lot of the value in what we teach. We also, as always, want to mention the music advocacy thing. I say this at every concert. It sounds like a broken record to me, and if it sounds like a broken record to you, it's a good story, all right? My 97-year-old grandmother, most of you have heard about my 97-year-old grandmother. She cannot remember my name, right? And that's a sad part of getting older, and dementia is they start to forget some things, and some of you have had that happen. What's the craziest part about it is you ask her to play Misty on the piano. She can remember all the chords, all the words, and you can ask her to change the key. And it still happens to this day. It's pretty awe-inspiring when you see her do it, and she's playing that song, and you go, what if you played it in this key? And she'll go, oh yeah, and she'll change. And she can't remember our names. That's something magical going on in the brain. There's a lot of science behind that, and I'm sure you'd love to hear me talk about the science about it. I know everyone's excited. But take out the science, that moment for me is kind of why music is valuable in our lives. There's something special that is happening on a physiological level in our brains that make music a super special activity that we engage in. And then finally, you know, none of this happens without amazing students, and you raised them. They're wonderful students. Do they mess up? Yes, we all know they mess up. All of us know they mess up. They have all kinds of things that happen to them, and we kind of act as the bumpers of life and kind of keep them on a track. And I appreciate that relationship we have, because that's what makes this school district, in my opinion, so special, is the fact that there's a relationship here between educators and parents where we can literally help students move forward as a team, rather, as you know, in some other districts where there may not be as much of a parent involvement as all educator, and so it's kind of a one-sided bumper, right? When we team up, it's a super powerful thing. So thank you for everyone there. I guess I need to stop talking, right? That's the next thing, right? That's the next. So without further ado, here is the 7th grade jazz band under the direction of Miss Rachel Berg.
My name is Connor Watts, and I play the tenor saxophone. And we just played Along for the Ride by Mike Story, and I played the solo.
As he said, that was Connor on the solo. Huge round of applause for Connor on that solo. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. As Nichelson said, this is the 7th grade jazz band, so these kiddos have just been in this jazz group for the first year, and about half of them, are playing an instrument that's not necessarily their primary instrument that they learned in 6th grade. So we have Caden Sellner, percussionist, born and raised here. We have Ethan, who is a trumpet player but also doubles on guitar. We have Grady, who is really a bassoon player, who has learned how to play trombone and also plays guitar. Then we have Logan, who is a French horn player, doubling on trumpet. Connor, who was alto last year, is a tenor this year. Jeremiah, alto saxophone. And Brooke, who is an oboe player, who learned how to double on bari sax. So a huge round of applause for those kids learning different instruments. So we have one more song for y'all tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed the first one. This next one, we're gonna let another student introduce the song, but before he does, we try to push our kiddos out of their comfort zones, especially in jazz, to do stuff that they may not be comfortable with, like talking in front of people or playing solos. So for their first year in jazz, I have forced every single one of them to do a improv solo in this next song, which is a solo that they created on their own. It's not necessarily written down. Some of them may have something written down, but they came up with it all on their own. I gave them 4 notes to use. I said, you have these 4 notes. You're gonna play something that you've never played before. So as they do that solo section, please feel free to clap as they get done, but no another student's gonna solo right after that one. But here's our next student to introduce our last song.
Hello, my name is Logan Folsom. I am a trumpet player in our jazz band. I played, our last piece of the evening is Deck the Hall by George Vincent. In this piece, it's a rock style with a swing section. This piece will feature all our band members in an improvising solo. I hope you enjoy Deck the Halls.